Welcome to my introduction to cooking with essential oils video. I'm putting together this video for everyone who couldn't make it to my intro class that was about a week ago. I sent out samples to most of you. If you didn't get samples and you would like some, please let me know and I'd be happy to send them out to you so you can actually try out some of the things that we're going to talk about here today. So first of all, here's a quick list of some of the different oils that you can use internally for cooking or for your drinks. As you can see, there's quite a few different oils here. So today we'll go over a few of the different ways to use them, and then you can start experimenting a little bit more for yourself and figure out which ones you like to use and which ones maybe you don't. But before we begin discussing how to use oils in cooking, we need to go over a safety issue first. If you've seen my introduction to essential oils video, you already know that not all oil brands are created equally. Not all oils are the same. So a lemon oil from one brand is not the same as a lemon oil from another brand. And this is where quality control is so important. So before you use any essential oils internally, you want to look at the back of your essential oil bottle, and there should be supplemental facts. If supplemental facts are not listed on your bottle of oil, do not use that oil internally. It is not deemed safe for internal consumption. Okay, so the first thing I did in my class for everyone, and that I want to introduce you to, is putting oils into your drinks. That's a great way to consume essential oils and get all those really beneficial properties of them just by putting them in your drink. And a lot of people have a hard time drinking enough water. I'm a huge water drinker. I know not everybody is. Not everyone likes the way water tastes. And so adding a drop of essential oils to your water is a great way to boost the flavor of your water and to encourage you to drink more water. All of the citrus oils are really great to put into your water. Just one drop. That's all you need. Just remember that. You put in too many drops and it's going to be crazy. One thing to take note of is always use a glass whenever using essential oils in your water, or a metal container. Don't use plastic because oils can react with plastics. And so it's better to avoid that and just use glass or metal. Another way that you can use essential oils in your drink is to add them to your tea. What I like to do with my tea is I take a drop of oil. Some of my favorites would be cinnamon or On Guard or even bergamot. And I just put one drop onto my tea bag before I put my tea bag into my cup, and then I add the hot water, and then it just slowly releases that oil into my tea. It's a really great way to add a little extra flavor. Ginger is really good for that as well. So really good boost. Here are a few basic tips for cooking with essential oils. First of all, it's best to add the essential oils into the liquid part of your recipe instead of into the dry part so that the flavors can blend in better. As you can see, essential oils are great for replacing some different items like dried herbs and zest. Just always remember that less is best. You can always add more later, but a half a drop to 1 drop of essential oil usually goes a long way. And for things that ask for a small amount, like just a teaspoon of a herb or spice, dip the end of a toothpick into your essential oil and swirl that in your recipe and taste that. If that's not enough flavor, grab another toothpick or use the other side of the toothpick and do a second dip. This is a great way to get some flavor into your food without overwhelming it, because remember, essential oils are extremely concentrated. One thing that I like to do is make flavored honeys with my essential oils, and then I can use those honeys to add to my teas or to spread on toast. That's a really fun way to do it. And I add about 3 drops of an essential oil, such as cinnamon or lavender or lemon or orange, to about 1.5 cups of honey. And I stir that up really well, and I let that set up for a while. These honeys right here, I'm actually making a spreadable honey with, and as you can see, I added some stirred honey to them. And then here's what they look like about 2 weeks later. You let them set up and they become thick and spreadable. So if you want to know more about that, just let me know and I'll give you some more information on doing that. Other ways that you can add your oils to seasonings is you can flavor sugar with oils. That's a great way to get some lavender flavor into your tea without overwhelming it, because 1 drop would be way too much. Or you can add oils to salt. And so here we have an Italian blend of salt with a few different oils. And then here we have an Asian blend. And so I just add the oils to the salt and I stir it up and I keep it in a nice airtight container. And then I use about a teaspoon whenever I'm making a soup or a sauce. And it adds a lot of flavor that way. Seasoning your oils with essential oil is another good way to use it. Add a drop or two of different herb oils, such as oregano, basil, thyme, marjoram, rosemary, into some olive oil, and you can use that for bread chips or use that for seasoning your foods. One thing you'll learn along the way is that some oils have a lot more flavonoids to them than others. They're much more powerful. Oregano is one of those, so be very careful when using oregano. Cinnamon is another one of those as well. And peppermint can be pretty strong. So with some of the oils, you really want to tone it down. With the citrus oils, you have a little more leeway. So experiment, always start with less and then add a little bit more if you need it, and you'll learn as you go. Okay, so now we're getting into the fun stuff. We're going to get into some actual recipes. I won't go too into detail with them. A lot of the recipes are going to be written out here, and then I will have a photo album you can go to, and it will have all the information on each of these recipes. You can look them up. But the first thing I'm going to start with is a snack food, because that's what we brought out first at our event. Popcorn is a really easy thing to flavor with essential oils. So whenever you pop your popcorn, and then on the side, you're going to melt some butter or some coconut oil or warm up some olive oil that you would toss in with your popcorn to season it. Just add some different essential oils to that liquid and then toss it in with the salt and with your popcorn. Here's some great ideas. The coconut and lime margarita popcorn is one of my favorites, but experiment. You can make it sweet and salty. You can add honey to your coconut oil or butter. Toss that in so you can have sweet or savory or salty popcorn. It's totally up to you. Baking with essential oils is really great. Making pumpkin cookies this time of year is awesome. You can put essential oils in your breads, in your cakes, anything like that. Whenever you're baking with essential oils, though, it does take a little more essential oil than just adding it to something that's not cooking for as long, for adding to your soups or your sauces. With those, you would want to add the essential oils at the end. With baking, you have to add it at the beginning. And so you do add a little bit more oil. So just experiment with that to get the right flavor as you go. Next thing I made was fudge. Fudge is one of the easiest things to make. I did not know that before I made it recently. I always thought it was really hard. But adding essential oils, I make orange chocolate. I make peppermint chocolate. So it's like a York peppermint patty. I do a Mexican hot chocolate fudge with cinnamon oil that's just fabulous. I throw in a little bit of cayenne pepper. So you can make some really great fudge and impress all your friends whenever you go to a dinner party because they think that you slaved for hours and how in the world did you get this amazing flavor? Really, it was super easy. You just added a few drops of essential oil. Another thing that is really easy to do with essential oils is to make dips, simple dips like hummus. This is a pumpkin hummus that I made. Great for the autumn season, but you could use any basic hummus and add some lemon essential oil or add some ginger essential oil to make it a little more spicy, a little more citrusy. Again, limit the amounts because you can always add more. And since with hummus is something that you're not cooking at all, you're not heating it up. So the essential oils stay fully potent. They don't cook down at all. And so you really want to limit yourself. Taste it and then just add another drop if you need to as you go. I also make guacamole using essential oils. I don't have a photo of that, but I use the cilantro oil. I use the lime oil and the lemon oil for my guacamole. I still throw in some actual cilantro. I don't actually replace fresh herbs with oils. I get a little more cilantro flavor by using the oil, but I love having that fresh herb in there. Another thing I made for my class was this coconut lemongrass lentil soup. Essential oils are amazing for flavoring soups. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you add the oils towards the end of cooking. Like I mentioned earlier with baking, the flavors can kind of cook out a little bit. And so with soups, you just add that oil at the very end, you stir in and you taste and see if you need to add more. Lemongrass is amazing for soup. I can't find lemongrass in the store very often. So the oil is a go-to for me, as well as with lemon and lime and then basil and some of the different herb oils. I also use essential oils when making my homemade marinara sauce. Our family loves Italian food, and I always cook my marinara sauce from scratch. And I kind of stray away from using oregano oil in the sauce because it's easy to ruin a sauce with an oil that has that much flavor. But I add the rosemary and the marjoram and the thyme and the basil. And I actually put the drops of those in with the olive oil to start cooking my sauce at the very beginning when I'm cooking down my vegetables. It does lose a little bit of the flavor of those oils whenever I do it that way, but it really gets ingrained in there really well. And if I need some more, I can add a drop of whichever one I need at the end. And the last food that I made for my class to taste was a quiche. And I added thyme and rosemary, I believe, to this one. And it was really amazing. And just one drop of each in the oil. And even though this baked for about 40 minutes, it didn't cook out the flavor. I'm not sure why baked goods absorb the flavor more, kind of mask them. But whenever you're using eggs and putting oils into your eggs, you still want to really limit your oils with that. You could do this with scrambled eggs as well, I'm pretty sure. I haven't tried it, but it might be a lot of fun. In the summertime, whenever you're going out camping, essential oils are a great way to flavor your food that you're cooking on the fire. I don't know if you guys make silver turtles. We always do. We toss a little bit of this and a little bit of that into tinfoil, wrap it up, and cook it on the fire. Just add some essential oils. You can use essential oils to marinate your meat. I use it with chicken a lot and just limit. I use like 1 drop of rosemary mixed in with whatever my marinade is and let it absorb into the chicken. And that's a really great way to do things. Now, all of this information is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to using essential oils in your foods, but I really wanted to kind of limit the time of this video and just give you a little introduction. Here are some of the more popular oils to use for baking. And then, of course, all the herb oils are really great for using in soups and sauces. So if you want to use essential oils in your cooking, this is one of the good places to start. If you want more information, you can go to my doTERRA website and click on recipes. And there is a whole slew of different ideas, and they add more all the time. It's www.mydoterra.com/HPAPASODORA. That'll get you to my doTERRA website, and then click on the menu, and recipes is in there. And you can go through here, and these give you some great ideas for using essential oils in your cooking. Well, that concludes this introduction to cooking with essential oils. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you found some ideas on here that will be useful to you in finding new ways to use your essential oils. If you would like more information or you'd like to see the recipes of all the different things I listed here, check my blog and check my Facebook page, which I'm going to list those here. And they will have all of that information for you. Also, feel free to contact me at any time if you have questions about using essential oils, about quality control, just about anything. And happy oiling.